Hi there, Tad Hargrave from marketingforhippies.com here in my living room, and here with another edition of ideas from the niching nest. And so there are 52 ideas in the beginning of this book. This is idea number 10, which is that niching is stage one of your business. So I got this idea from Mark Silver. I know he got it from somewhere else. There are 4 stages in your business. If you can imagine, stage 4 is this optional stage that you get to where very successful, many employees, you could leave your business for 6 months, everything's still going great. Stage 3 is the level most people want to get to. Your business's cash flow is steady, it's stable, maybe you have an assistant or an employee or two, and your niche is clear, your point of view is clear, your branding, all this is, everything's working well. There's a good momentum in your business. Stage 2 is where you're starting to concentrate, you're starting to focus, and cash flow is kind of up and down a lot because you're either focusing on marketing or you're doing the work and back and forth, and it takes a while for that to steady out. Stage 1 is this creation phase, and it's where you're doing a lot of experimenting. So this thought is that that's probably where niching primarily fits, is in stage 1. That's the 80% of the niching happens there. There's still another 20% that might happen in stage 2, but primarily niching is stage 1 of your business. And I see this all the time where people will start a business and try to leap right to stage 3. They don't give themselves the time and the space to experiment. And there's just a certain amount of that which is required. You've got to test things out. But if you quit your job and you have no savings, you need the money to show up right away, this makes it very difficult. So stage 1 is this process of niching. You don't have your niche yet. You're figuring out your role in the community. You're figuring out where you fit. You're starting to gather the twigs that could make the nest of your business. The word niche comes from the French verb nicher, to make a nest. So that's stage 1. You're just looking around at materials. You're seeing what you might want to make the nest out of it all. And by stage 2, you're starting to construct the nest now. You're starting to put it together. And there will be some successful and unsuccessful experiments in that as well, but you're already on your way. You've got the basic idea. So this is just stage 1. And a relief that can come from knowing this is you stop making yourself wrong for not having it figured out. That is properly what you should be doing in stage 1, is figuring it out. So when people come to me and it's in the first year or so of their business and I don't know what my niche is, and well, how long have you been in business? 6 months. Oh, well, okay. Then that's actually where you should be, is testing it out. And this is why I encourage people, don't quit your day job in the beginning. Do a little experiment here, a little experiment there. Have this as a side hustle for a while. Go down to part-time work and slowly start to branch into this, but give yourself the time and space to experiment, because if you don't do it, you're either going to be stuck in a business that you don't like. Chances are, your first guesses at what your niche might be aren't going to work, or you'll just, shut it all down because it doesn't feel good. So, well and truly and properly, stage 1 means figuring it out, doing the heavy lifting, 80% of the work on figuring out, what do I want to be known for? What's the reputation I want to have? You start to wonder, if I was at a party and I overheard people talking about my business behind me and saying, oh, Tad, he's really good at, he does this. What's the thing that they would say that I'd be so thrilled if they said? That's what you're wondering about and experimenting with. And you're really trying things because you might have a sense, oh, I know my niche will be this, but then you try it and you realize that's not quite it, or nobody responds to it. Come up with a design for a t-shirt you think everyone will love, and then you can't find anyone who wants to buy it. So then you try something else. And so this is why we do a lot of tiny, small, agile experiments. There's that book, The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, that goes into this a lot. This idea of I think he calls it the minimum viable product. But basically a test, a tiny little experiment, and you do a lot of these. And by the way, the easiest experiment you can have in stage 1 is to have a ton of conversations about what you want to do. probably can't have too many conversations with people. Hey, I was thinking about doing this, and what do you think? And before you put any time or money into anything, have the conversations with people just to see, is there any resonance here? Is anyone interested in this? That's what you do in stage one, a ton of it. And it's very helpful to give yourself enough time to be able to do it. Give yourself a year or two to wrestle it out until you land on something that you notice there's a really good response in the marketplace and that you also feel really excited about. And then you can double down and take the next steps. But know that the first bunch you take in that first stage of your business are disposable in a way. And not disposable, you don't learn from them, but you're not getting married to these ideas. You're just dating in an extremely casual way. You're just getting to know people, hanging out. You're going to a party, and at that party you're talking to all sorts of people. And at the end of the night, maybe there'll be one or two people whose numbers you want to get, you want to stay in touch with after. So, man, this little rant is probably longer than that section in the book. But that's idea number 10. Niching is stage one of your business. I hope that's useful.